I like to use trees as a reference. I am a big bonsai lover, and definitely a plant enthusiast. So this picture really resonates with me as far as how a customer journey can flow. So I always call this the touchpoint tree. So what we have here is we have these high level branches that bring customers inward to the main trunk of the tree, which contains your website, purchases, and then loyalty programs here, which are going to be like the main aspects here. This is what we're really looking for here. We want to have that funnel, that website, the purchases, the loyalty kind of going back upward. Then lower branches are things like such as like your email marketing, your in-store experiences, your things that are more controlled than maybe like your social media platform or like your search engine optimization. You do have influence in them. You do have control. I 100% agree. But they are maybe more influenced by the outside world versus what can be directly controlled, like the in-store experience. You can directly control that. However, this doesn't diminish the value of any of them. And I definitely want to reinforce that. I mean, search, I think is probably right here is the top one. It's because it's probably in this case here representing that as the maybe the most important as far as driving traffic. The search engine optimization is really the key for this sales aspect. And then it goes down to maybe email marketing is the next biggest one. So breaking that down from like a strategic standpoint, we had before where we were talking about search as a whole. And now we're going to break it down into like the different aspects of the channels. So we have the Google ads here, we have SEO, we have influencers, in-store purchasing, TikToks, Instagram, email, all that leads into these different areas. And you can see that it kind of steps down from like a tactic standpoint, from a strategy, and then it will actually even break it down to we can look at individual pathways that individuals take for purchasing their products. So we really think that this is really what's going to be based off that strategy that we talked about in the last slide. You're going to base your strategy off of where you want to be targeting people and what fits best for your business. So you might want to look at social. Maybe social doesn't fit for you. Maybe search is really important. Vice versa, maybe in store, maybe you don't have a store. All those different aspects can be changed. And then this tree here will just look different depending on your business. The note path is really the same. Every touch point is going to be different for each customer. So every time like you're using an app or you're downloading something or buying a different item, a widget of some sort, you're going to have a different path than somebody else. Even if it's very similar, you're still probably going to have a slightly different path. So what we're looking at here is just kind of like highlighting maybe a path or two when we're looking at the customers and how they're interacting. So maybe they're coming through as Google ads, but they're also interacting with TikTok, website, purchases, and then they also have customer service. So these could be the different touch points that this person is interacting with. And also here we have the in-store. So maybe they repurchased, then in store. So what this can let you do then is understand where to really emphasize, and then understand who in your business, like what this segmentation of that customer, what they're looking at, and what the path is that they are taking. One thing I think is really great for the tree aspect of this is that for a tree you can move in any direction. So there's a lot of times where people will come in store, they'll leave, they'll come back for a Google ad, then maybe they'll go to the website, come back and they'll see a TikTok, and then they'll finally purchase. So there's not necessarily like a straight linear pathway here. People take definitely kind of all over the route. You'll see the Google ad, website, TikTok, website, in-store purchase a lot. Those type of things where you kind of have to reinforce the brand image before someone finally purchases. I know for us, we were crumble cookie was a big one for us. We saw ads. My wife was a huge fan. She loved the cookie idea. Then finally they opened one, still saw a few more ads, and then we finally got the chance to go to one, so we did. So it's definitely a way to go about understanding that and just looking at what is going to drive that traffic and understand that they can move freely around those different paths. So using this framework as well, we can also speak along the lines of the emotional ties that are driven by the key areas. So for instance, like a TikTok landing page could be great at driving traffic, but maybe the influencer that you hired. Maybe they got a little rogue. Maybe they have sent people somewhere saying that you have X widget and really you do not. So maybe then they're coming into store being upset. So it's causing this section here to come as a frustration point. Whereas the purchase, once people actually get your product, they are loving it. So maybe like that crumble cookie example. Once they get their hands on that cookie, it's amazing. But up until then, that time of the influencer was advertising a s'mores cookie, but you actually do not have that, so people are disappointed.